What do you feel like is most important for you to show in these workouts, basically? What's the most important thing you're trying to get across the team?
Yeah, for me would be specifically my three-point shooting. I spent a lot of time in this pre-draft process working on that. I thought I shot at about 35% clip during college. I feel like I'm a better shooter than that. So, at these workouts, I'm trying to just come in, show, I'm a good defender. But most importantly, my transition into the league, I see myself in the early stages being like a 3-and-D player.
Right, true.
So trying to just show defensively and then I can knock down the open three-ball.
Is there anything you did with the shot to change it or fix it or mess with it or anything at all just to try to get better there?
It was mainly just reps, little tweaks, but nothing like so significant where it'd be like worth, like being like, oh, I changed this, I changed that, but mainly just reps.
What did you take away from today and trying to, I assume you're probably just getting started on the wave of kind of these workout tours?
This is my fifth one, so I don't know if that's getting started to you or not. There's 32 teams, but just the competitiveness, playing hard. We're playing against other good players who earned a spot here today for a reason. So kind of just gelling with them, whoever's on your 3-on-3 team, real quick. Little chemistry as you can get, and just competing. I know these teams want to see you compete and play hard.
You mentioned the three-point shot. Did you feel, even from college days, but even more so in the NBA, that the more of an emphasis on that, and the value of those type of players and what kind of type of careers they can have? Yeah,
I feel like 3-and-D players specifically can have long careers. I mean, jumping you can't always do. You get older. You're just not as athletic anymore, but shooting something you can do whole life, like think about Ray Allen, for instance, he came in dunking on people, this, that, and the third, but, as he got older, being able to just knock it down is what led, I feel like, to a long career for him.
How can you highlight what you do defensively in these type of settings? Or is it more so maybe after the fact when you're discussing how would you have approached this guy or this scenario?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say the toughest thing, though, is, you get such a limited time with, here, any team, just trying to showcase. For me, I guess it would be not just getting blown by right away. Again, it's such a short period where you get to show your skills and your skill set, but just trying to limit mistakes. The plays that make people go like, oh man, everybody's seen that before, but just trying to limit those plays offensively, defensively, and then, interviews are important too.
It's kind of just your excitement level to go through this process and the intrigue of maybe what you've seen some friends or former teammates go through.
Yeah, it's definitely a rush, like how I would describe it is, as a little kid, if my little self were to look at me now in this Pacers gear, he'd probably be going nuts. But, it's also a lot of work. There's a lot of traveling, as there is in the NBA. So, as exciting as it is, there's a lot of pressure, a little bit of pressure, a lot of traveling. Your body's not going to feel 100 all the time, but you just got to come out, show out.
What traits beyond, like, on the court are you trying to show teams?
That I'm a personable person. I don't like to talk about myself much, but since you asked.
Please do.
Just personable. My nickname is Mr. Smiley. At my school, I smile a lot. Very rarely will you see me not smiling. Just a positive person who, tries just to not take life so seriously, but when he has to, obviously take it seriously.
What was the influence in that?
I actually got asked that question maybe 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have an answer, and I probably still don't. But, I feel like I like making people smile. That's my biggest thing. I feel like smiles are contagious. And, any way you can just brighten someone's day, however that is, I just feel like that's where I come from.
How much value do you think that you had for at Miami, especially with the run you guys went on, the success you guys had? How much do you think that helps the team dynamic?
As far as
just the way that you approach being a teammate, being a person, being around people.
It's huge. Talking about that run at Miami, I was the oldest guy on the team, so I was definitely the leader of that team, and just trying to make sure guys were, this is a long season, so I can't even say it was a long season, but at the time it was a long season, so just making sure everybody was on their P's and Q's, making sure that the vibes weren't bad, and I could relate to everybody because, it was my 5th year this year. So I could relate to freshmen, sophomore, juniors, seniors, you name it. So I was able to kind of be that emotional leader and make sure people stayed. in a good spot mentally.
Being in that position, what are some things you learned from Jim?
From Coach Leonard? Yeah. I mean, I learned a lot, He's definitely a teacher / coach. But just having class wherever you go, representing yourself in a high manner, that's important. We're basketball players, but we're also people too, and the way you can express yourself to people, I mean, everybody likes a good basketball player, but I feel like everybody likes a good person more than a good basketball player. So I feel like that's what I learned from Coach O.
What do you have upcoming? A lot more of those?
Yeah, definitely a lot more. I'm definitely going to be traveling a lot. But again, just trying to live out the dream. So, again, my younger self would be happy, excited. So, just trying to keep that in the back of my mind and just keep pushing along.